I'll be reading a poem today that I found in this book, Cowboy Poetry, a gathering, poems that were read at various national cowboy poetry gatherings over the first few years of that event, compiled by Hal Cannon. This is an anonymous poem. It's called The Zebra Dun. Zebra dun, that doesn't refer to a breed of horse, but to the color of a horse. Hello, my fellow readers. Today is Thursday. It's Poetry Thursday. It's Cowboy Poetry Thursday. My name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky. An anonymous poem called The Zebra Dun. We were camped on the plains at the head of the Cimarron when along came a stranger who stopped to arger some. He looked so very foolish. We began to look around. We thought he was a greenhorn that had just escaped from town. We asked if he'd been to breakfast. He hadn't had a smear. So we opened up the chuck box and bade him have his share. Took a cup of coffee and some biscuits and some beans and began to talk and tell about foreign kings and queens, about the Spanish War and fighting on the seas with guns as big as steers and ramrods big as trees. About old Paul Jones, a mean fighting son of a gun who was the grittiest cuss that ever pulled a gun. Such an educated feller. His thoughts just came in herds. He astonished all them cowboys with them jaw-breaking words. He kept on talking till he made the boys all sick. And they began to look around just how to play a trick. He said he'd lost his job up on the Santa Fe and was going across the plains to strike the 7D. He didn't say how come it. Some trouble with the boss. And he said he'd like to borrow a nice fat saddle hoss. This tickled all the boys. They laughed way down in their sleeves. We'll lend you a horse, just as fresh and as fat as you please. Shorty grabbed a lariat and roped the Zebra Dun and turned him over to the stranger and waited for the fun. Old Dunny was a rocky outlaw that had grown awful wild. He could paw the white out of the moon every jump for a mile. Old Dunny stood right still as if he didn't know until he was saddled and ready for to go. When the stranger hit the saddle, old Dunny quit the earth and traveled right straight up for all that he was worth. A pitchin' and a squealin', a havin' wall-eyed fits, his hind feet perpendicular, his front ones in the bits. We could see the tops of mountains under Dunny's every jump. But the stranger, he was growed there, just like the camel's hump. The stranger sat upon him and curled his black mustache. just like a summer boarder waiting for his hash. It thumped him in the shoulders and spurred him when he whirled to show them flunky punchers that he was the wolf of the world. When the stranger had dismounted once more upon the ground, we knew he was a thoroughbred and not a gent from town. The boss, who was standing round watching the show, walked right up to the stranger and told him he needn't go. If you can use the lasso like you rode old Zebra Dunn, you are the man I've been looking for ever since year one. Oh, he could twirl the lariat and didn't do it slow. Could catch them feet 9 out of 10 for any kind of dough. One thing, and a sure thing, I've learned since I was born: every educated feller ain't a plumb greenhorn.
Yippee-yi-yi.